The Roosters were so bad. Whatever analysis you did on any of their players this week, you have to scrap that, chuck it out the window, because none of it is going to help you. Unfortunately, when a team completes a 50%, there's zero chance of any of their players doing well. Yet really, the only one that's done okay in this one is Egan Butcher at 53, and that's because he made 49 tackles. There was 63 run meters in his game. He did have an offload, and he had a tackle break. That was it. So still five missed tackles for Egan in this one. And of course, this is his biggest game of the year. Shock, in the game where everyone else struggles. So what the other thing I need to say is updates. Sort it out, guys. The NRL app has it. Literally, Money Munster is going to have to sit this whole weekend on 93 when he's got that first ton of the year and it's not updated. So that's upsetting. For anyone that's a Money Munster owner, up to a 63.5 is what it's going to be average after he gets to that 100. So he was doing absolutely everything in this one. Whether he's at fullback, whether he was at half, he just ran the ball at every chance he could. And he's just a maestro with the ball, isn't he? He's incredible. 419 kick meters as well in this one was huge. So they obviously had plenty of possession, considering Roosters dropped the ball almost every set. Every time they tried something, they dropped it. In a wet weather footy game as well. A lot of your stats and things that your analysis goes out the window as well. Obviously, a lot of the outside backs don't go so well. And a couple of my players that I really needed to, you would have listened to me in the trades video and the other videos this week, is that I was hoping and praying that I could get through this first game and then the rest of the week would be great. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get through this game, and we'll have a middling week, I'd say, in this one. So, even some of our guns, like Harry Grant, didn't get obviously the full 80 minutes, but didn't manage to score super well. So, updates here. We've got Munster with 100. Spoke about him. He just was in everything. He will be one of the guns, guys. You get him at 800k, but obviously we'll miss a bunch of games over Origin, and just had a bit of a tough start to the year with his injury. So that's that with him. Nick Meaney, the people that have been still pushing to get rid of him, picked up 59. He ended up updating too in his 66 minutes with his head knock that he had. So, try a couple of tries for him. Meters gain wasn't massive, but, passing game and being in the right spot at the right time was perfect for him. Eli Katoa ends up to a 57, which is good as well. So those that were really stressed about him, he's going to average out over this first 6 games to a 52 average. So he's priced about 100k under that average, and obviously that 30 odd slowed down his money making, but he still has a little bit more if he can continue this type of scoring. And really, do you think he can? I think so. Hughes goes to him every time. Not once did he go out the back. I think he passed it to Remus Smith once, maybe there, or twice there, and in anywhere in the Roosters half. And Mr. Warbrick unfortunately doesn't get any pellets. So yeah, how fun's that? He goes to Katoa, or if they go to Remus Smith does not even look at him once. He's like, yeah, you're there. I'll just keep running. That's funny. Not really, especially when you played Warbrick this week. But Ellie, someone you could definitely keep, I think, until round 9, and then you can make a decision on there. But I think that he's someone that, really, if you want to, he's going to be one of those guys that probably averages close to that 50 for the entirety of the year. Like, he's not doing anything crazy and, picking up these type of stats. So 29 tackles for 1 miss was good in this one. He has an offload in his game. He's got 5 tackle breaks and a line break. This is becoming pretty normal and came very close to scoring a try, which he would have ended up at about that 70 mark. So really, really good player for fantasy, but also doing a good job for them when he gets the ball in hand. I spoke about Egan Butcher, crazy. Got his best score of the year in this shocker of a game, but makes sense. It was a tackling game for them. Harry Grant, so did everything well. Kicked to 40-20. That was great. So obviously got his kick meters for that. A couple of forced dropouts as well. So really controlled things well. In that second part of the game, he did miss a bunch of tackles, ended up falling off 6, which hurt him. And the 34 tackles in total made dropped his point scoring to a 50 is what he ended up updating to. So not ideal. He picked up that 51 a couple of weeks ago, but shows that you can get an 87 one week and then you can get a 50 the next, and that's pretty normal and pretty good, to be honest with you, for a lot of these hookers in the game. They're not always going to get that 70, but what happens when they get big tackle numbers and some type of attacking stats, so they're going to get 70 plus and round out to a 66 average over the first 6 games. So Harry's been great. Don't stress about him, but he's someone that I don't own. And what you need to compare it to, I'm going to go through Suoli'i right now. And with Suoli'i, he's priced at just over 500k, which puts him in the mid-30s as a price guy. So when he scored, he got updated to 31, which just says 29 at the moment. He's only 4 or 5 points below his break even and where he's priced at the moment. Whereas someone like Harry Grant, he's priced up in the mid 60s at the moment, and he scored 15 below that. So if you're doing comparisons there, Maisuali'i, not so bad. Warbrick, pretty bad, obviously. But yeah, Grant there. I have made up a couple on Grant. And what I do need, though, to make up, and that's how I'm going to think about this for the rest of the weekend, is my sort of pod plays from here. So Robson over Grant needs to get a 65 or 70. And if he does that, I can kind of make up for a little bit of Suoli'i and make up for a little bit of Warbrick. And yeah, we bring ourselves back to life a little bit in amongst a couple of our other good selections that have been going great the last bunch of weeks. Yeah, we can make up for starts like this, and that's the best way to think about it, especially when you get a little bit of a break. When Grant didn't go out and get 75 early on in that game when he picked up that beautiful 40-20, I was a little bit worried for that, but obviously, yeah, things didn't work out as well for him in the second half. I think it was 33 at the half, and only picked up the extra 16 points there. So that's Harry. Let's go to Manu now. He went down to 47. He ended up with 7 tackle breaks and 200 meters there. 5 kick defusals. Did his job, really. Tried his best. Only he did have the one error, which obviously not great, but overall he was in and amongst it. In a wet weather game, not going to be his best game either. And the Roosters just applying no pressure and just giving Storm the ball at all times. So yeah, you'll take that 47 if you did pick him up in this type of game, given he was the second best Roosters scorer. But overall, you're hoping for a big one, and I suppose it would have been ideal to know that this was going to be a wet weather game and probably not conducive to guys like Manu and the outside backs for both teams really. It was only Meany in the outside backs and Manu, the fullbacks, that actually did okay. Everyone else did pretty poor. So that's that there. Xavier Coates with a 3-try effort for 46. How good. What a fantasy gun. Christian Welch got up to 47 in this one. He was pretty solid, pretty excited when they turned over that first ball. The first drop, I think, from Jackson Parlour there. So it sort of set the tone for this game, to be honest with you. And they just kept going from there. Joshua King, a little fall from grace. And this one was never going to make massive tackles, but he was scoring pretty well in that first half. And then again, things slowed down a little bit in that second one. But for him, 30 tackles, 125 meters. No attacking stats in this one. Did get a forced turnover tackle as well. So that was that with Kinga there, the 44. Again, this is, probably more of what we expect, somewhere between that 45 and 50-ish. And he's priced pretty well according to that now. So will he play 66 minutes every week? Most of them. And then he'll go to 70 and 80 sometimes as well. Terrell May, he had a really good game. I think he ended up with 39 in updates, but 31 minutes for him. He was great. He ran the ball hard, tackled hard. 28 tackles, 0 misses. Yeah, it's exactly what you want for a bench forward here. And I think he did a job for the Roosters in a team where they had a multitude of negatives. He did a great job. All right, we got Kamakamika there was solid. Trent Leoro, so he ended up updating to a 42, which was nice, and really happy with that output in a game where, again, they had the ball a lot. Meant he didn't get to tackle as much. But 80 run meters there. Did get a penalty early on. I was cursing him. I was like, come on, get off him. But as it is what it is. 1 tackle break there. So 10 points in the running side of the ball. And then 33 for no misses. So this is him, guys. This is where we're at with Trent. He has a decent amount of cash still to make. So him at 505, as I said, price very similar to that of Suoli'i. He's averaging 42 here. Suoli'i's averaging 38 and is a bit up and down. That's why his scoring hasn't gone crazy. Whereas Trent's pretty consistent, and he'll make another 20 or 30 here. And he'll keep moving until closer to that 600 mark is where he'll be at. If he continues to be about that 42.5, he'll be about a 600 to 610 type of scorer, depending on week to week how the pricing changes. So it's not an exact science because it does change each and every week, the amount of points allocated, amount of cash allocated per point. So that's that. But yeah, a general idea of where we're at. If you're looking at a 50-point scorer, they're around that 700k mark or just above, and then 40 is about 100 and a bit down from there. So he'll be a little bit up above that 600 mark. Nat Butcher, 40 for him. Again, he's been someone who's scoring well, and he had 5 missed tackles, 49 tackles, but no run meters, 42 run meters. Ugh, yuck. Bradley went up to 41, but he had that really bad sin binning, which kind of cost them a lot. They obviously didn't play very well at all after that, but yeah, not good for them. Walker went up to 35 in this one. Really had one of his shockers. Really, 4 errors, a couple of missed tackles, a couple of inside 10s. Hardly ran the ball. Missed 2 tackles, pretty normal for him. 1 or 2 at the moment, which is good. But that lovely try assist. He started the game so great, and then it all just fell apart from there. So Walker, he was kind of semi in my plans. It was like him, Hines. To be fair, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get Hines next week with the outside backs that I've got. Warbrick and Suoli, I don't think I can play long term. So might not be able to get Hines next week, which would be a bummer, but we'll work that out. I do have 350 in the bank, and we'll have to make those decisions as they come. But that's that. Collins, 34 in this one, in his 58 minutes. So again, just the middles for the Roosters just weren't able to get a crack again there. 5 missed tackles, so they're all missing a lot of them through the middle here. And look at Brandon Smith as well, 6 missed tackles there, and a 31 in his 63 minutes. So made 40, missed 6, not good. Hardly ran the ball. Forced dropout in there, and 1 kick out of dummy half. Wasn't great for Smithy. I know a lot of people were looking at him as well, and that's just unfortunate. Again, all your plans and all your thoughts for this game, just scrap them, because Smithy looked okay at times. What about his very humble interview, as they said on Whitewater Sports after the game? Just being appreciative for being there, and I think he's just like, we just got spanked. I don't want to laugh and joke on there, or I might get destroyed by Robbo. So there you go. Swelly, so end up with 31, guys. They updated him nicely at the end of the game, and then took away 3 of his tackle breaks. That was nice, but he ended up getting 1 more, up to 31, which, as I said, is pretty solid, really. Like, you're looking at a 50 average of 700. As I said, the 40 average is that tick under 600. So he's priced in that sort of mid-30s there, which is fine. That 31 is not going to lose much cash there. And really, he looks great. When he has ball in hand, he does look great. He unfortunately had that 1 error. Again, just those tackling errors when he goes to tackle and drop it down. So that was a nice one at the start. Only had the 1 miss. He doesn't really get involved too much in defense. Like, he's not a big tackle number guy, which is annoying, obviously. But what you're looking at with him and that whole side last night is that, Warbrick wasn't getting any pill. It would go to Katoa a lot, and that's on his inside, and obviously he's not going to. Most of the time, he's not going to jump in and tackle them. Some centers will get involved with those tackles there on the back row, but not often when you should be keeping out, on your wing, especially there. So, look, he's going okay. He's now averaging 37 for the year. It hasn't been a terrible start, but just as I said, this just wasn't the game for him. So he's definitely still someone that I'd be looking to move on eventually, because I don't see him as being close to a keeper. And really, next week, I'm going to be looking at a wing fullback for him. What are my thoughts are at the moment? If Preston is out this morning, I think I might trade Chester to Walshy and have that one set. And I'd play him over Isaiah Katoa, which will hopefully get me a better scorer this week. And then I have one of those wing fullbacks set, and I can decide what I want to do with Suoli'i and Warbrick. And those guys already have Chester there who would be moved on. If Preston is playing, I'll leave it as is, and then I'll have to make the 3 next week, I think, to try and really bolster things up. And if Hopgood isn't getting the minutes that we think, then he's definitely going to go. He's going to have to go to even get close to someone like Hines. But maybe we can't get him next week and we have to in round 8, but we'll work that out from there. But the wing fullbacks now, after last night, scares me a bit. But then, as I said at the start of the video, I should just scrap all of my thinking around this game, because he did run the footy well. When they wanted to get things going in their half, they went left. They went to him. They went to Tupou there. And, he did a good job. He made 4 tackle breaks. He had a couple of offloads in there. Very close to getting a few line breaks there as well. Remus Smith actually defended him pretty well and tackled, got him around the legs a few times and around the ankles, where he almost could have shaken off a few of them. And if you do own him, there's 11% that own him in the top 5,000. So it's okay numbers. And it's either hold or sell, I think, for him at the moment. Just with the Roosters being so bad, that's the main issue with it. He's playing fine, but the amount of drop ball that they have is just disgusting, and he's not going to do well with that happening in his team at all. Kiri wasn't great either. 26 tackles, run 60 metres, kicked a tiny bit, but no errors in his game, thankfully. Remus Smith, we said there, 25. You got Hughes there, ended up with a 23, so okay. It was pretty bad for a large part of that game, but he comes back after his few weeks off and gets a low one. So watch him and his scoring over his price over the next bunch of weeks. He is going to drop a lot. Junior Pollard there, end up with 19 in update. So not nice for him. He really only just had that one easy try where Walker threw it over the top and got him a nice one there. Other than that, nothing really happened for him. Even him, 85 run meters. So I think for Suoli to get out of this game with a 31 and be the best out of all the centers and wing fullbacks in both teams, I think it is good signs, to be honest. But they do come up against Sharks next week, so that doesn't make it hard. But hopefully for them, and we'll see what happens with the Sharks this week. But sorry, they're not playing this week, but they're having high scoring games, so that might help him there as well. Okay, moving down, you've got guys like Tupou, and then we've got Warbrick, guys. 13 points here, and downdated to 12, which wasn't nice, but again, just didn't have much to get involved. I don't even remember him getting the 2 errors. Can anyone let me know what a couple of them were? Was it any of them just a tackle one where he dropped it on, knocked it on there? I don't remember him dropping the ball in anything that he ran it, so whatever. But 95 run meters, no tackle breaks there. Every time he was running the ball, it was 3 people tackling him, so there was no chance for any tackle bust there. They just didn't go right. Roosters didn't kick right, and when they did kick, there wasn't many kick meters, so not often they were kicking to his side. It was down to Meany, it was down to Coates a lot of the time. So Warbrick, his money making is now done, I think. So if you want to trade him off, beautiful, no problem there. If you want to keep hold of him, that is also okay, and you can have him as some cover for now. But really, his money making is going to be done, because when we saw what his scores were like with Hughes, and then when Hughes was away, he scored 2 tries. So I think that's enough said. Yes, it could be a little bit of coincidence, but I'm here to think not. When Vunivalu was in the team, he got a lot of ball, but a lot of it was based on kicking to him. And they had some different spreads in terms of their attack. So that's that, guys. That's the Thursday game. I really hope that's helped you out. Thank you for the little bit of a rant that allowed me to have. As I said, you guys are my therapist when it comes to fantasy. So I wish you all the best of luck heading into the Friday games and the rest of your week.